You know, when I first saw the Nintendo Switch reveal, I knew I had to get it. I mean, it was gonna have Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. And in the months-long wait between those two games, I decided to pick up Splatoon 2. You know, just to tide me over. And apparently that was a good decision because I've put well over 365 hours into the game. Well, I didn't expect that. I guess that happens sometimes, when you don't think you're gonna care about a game but it ends up becoming one of your favorites. And as I'm recording this video, Splatoon 2 just passed its 1-year anniversary, so now would be a perfect time to talk about it. I don't even care that I'm dating myself by saying that, because you need to buy this game right now. I'll explain what I mean in a bit. For now, let's just go on our magical journey to Inkopolis. Every time you boot up the game, you first gotta sit through this news bulletin which tells you what the current multiplayer stages are. I guess that's nice to know, but it's more annoying than helpful. After you play the game enough, you really just don't care. You just want to start playing already. Like, you stop even paying attention, you're just mashing the A button in hopes that it skips this intro fast enough. You can see the current stages in the menu anyway. Oh yeah, this is Pearl and Marina. They're in a pop group called Off the Hook. We'll see more of them a bit later. If you're wondering why a pop group is hosting the news, that's just the kind of society this game takes place in. You see, you play as a race called the Inklings, who can turn from a human form into a squid form and back again. I think the first Splatoon commercial covered this aspect pretty well.
You're a kid now, you're a squid now. You're a kid, you're a squid, you're a kid, you're a squid, you're a kid, you're a squid, you're a kid, you're a squid.
Let's dive right into the multiplayer. We've got a couple different modes here. We have Salmon Run, we got Turf War, and we got the ranked modes. I'd love to talk about Salmon Run first, since it's my favorite mode, but it's not available right now. Yeah, this game is really selective on when you can play certain modes. The ranked ones are all on a rotation too, so there's only one available at a time. So I guess we'll just look at the game's main draw, Turf War. It's always available. This game's a shooter, but instead of firing bullets, you fire ink. Turf War is a game where you see which team can ink most of the stage until the time is up. You can swim fast through your team's ink while in squid form, and it recharges your ink tank a lot quicker too. For your arsenal, you got a primary weapon, a bomb, and a special move that you can perform when you've inked enough. There's a variety of different weapons too, but I like to stick with the plain old shooter kind. I like to use the N-Zap, which I coincidentally own in real life too. Inking turf's a pretty unique mechanic. I can't say I've really seen it anywhere else. Turf War is kinda flawed though. Since matches are determined on how much turf is inked when the timer ends, only the last 30 seconds or so really count. You could be killing it for the first 2 minutes and still lose. This is in contrast to the ranked modes, which decide matches on the team's personal best, not necessarily where the teams are when the timer runs out. And let's talk about those ranked modes. First, we got Rainmaker, which is just reverse capture the flag, except the flag is a weapon called the Rainmaker. Your objective is to get the Rainmaker to the goal at the enemy spawn. You know, there's a special weapon that actually does make it rain ink. The Rainmaker isn't that though. I don't get it. The next mode is Tower Control. It's just like Rainmaker, except you stand on a tower that automatically goes to the enemy spawn by itself. Then we have Splat Zones, which is like a mini Turf War, because there's a small section or two of the map that you have to control with your ink. You gotta hold it for a longer period than the other team. These modes are all pretty oh wait, I forgot about Clam Blitz. I hate this mode. I hate it! It's a bizarre game where you have to go around collecting clams, which turn into footballs. Then you throw the footballs into the goalposts. You know, I don't think this is how you play football. Do I gotta get John Madden in here to teach the basics? There's one flaw that makes Clam Blitz really frustrating. In the other ranked modes, you have one central objective that the whole team can focus on. Here, these clams are just spread everywhere. And should I mention this online multiplayer game has no voice chat? Your only options for communicating with your teammates is Booyah and This Way. Now, I love a good Booyah, but this mode is total mayhem. There's no team coordination at all. But you know, those are just minor nitpicks. Splatoon has what's really important in video games. It's got the aesthetics. Splatoon's mission statement is being fresh, and boy does it achieve that. Nintendo created a world that's cool by design. First, the Inklings themselves have a pretty appealing look. You're even supposed to dress them up to look as fresh as possible. The music is also really awesome. And one nice detail is that every single track in the game was composed by a band in-universe. And every track is also pretty good. Except this track. This track sounds like it was composed by me. Wow, I'm bad at rhythm games. The world itself feels like it's straight out of a rap video. Well, a rap video mixed with the C. I don't know, it just works. This game is a perfect example of every single element coming together. The gameplay, the art style, the music, all of it. I think that's what separates a game that's just merely okay with one that's truly fantastic. When everything just feels like it had a lot of thought put into it and it all fits together. Did you know instead of squids, the original playable characters were going to be rabbits? That's an example of the elements not coming together. Now come on, rabbits? I don't think they would have sold one copy if they stuck with that. No, you gotta have squids, and tentacles, and shooting weird liquids at each other. That is the Japanese way. Well, it looks like Salmon Run's open now. So I can finally show you my favorite mode. I mean, just look, I've played it over 1,600 times. So here in Salmon Run, you work for a bear statue named Mr. Grizz at Grizzco Industries. You have a rank here too, which affects how hard the mode is. I myself am a professional. Your job is to get launched into the restricted zone, and kill as many beings known as salmonids as you can. You need to collect the salmonid's eggs and put them in a collection basket so that they go back to Mr. Grizz. You get these by killing certain kinds of salmonids called boss salmonids. Regular ones just give you power eggs, which apparently aren't as good as the golden eggs that bosses drop. These bosses range from being really easy to really annoying. And you better kill them fast or they're just gonna keep stacking up and you're done for. You gotta survive 3 different waves that last 100 seconds each. And you gotta make sure you meet your egg quota too. Oh yeah, baby! And when you win, your team does this. I don't know either. Every shift has a set of weapons that get distributed to each team member. But the real fun is when there's a shift that's completely random. Here, there's a chance to get one of Mr. Grizz's personal weapons, which are super overpowered. You feel almost invincible with one of these, except some of them drain your ink tank pretty quickly. Usually only one team member gets a Grizzco weapon, but there was once a shift where every member got one. That was fun. I even hit the max difficulty for that one since my rank was going up so much. Oh, just listen to those Inception horns. Ooh, you think I can survive? There's only 10 seconds left. Everyone's dead. Oh no! Oh, that sucks, man. 20 out of 21 eggs. Wow, Rex, Otter. You guys are really good. A whole 2 eggs? That sure is something. Well, I guess everyone can't be like me. Now, I don't really want to brag, but I'm pretty good at this mode. My team once hit 100 eggs, and I contributed 45 of them. I can't exactly say why I love this mode over all the others. I guess it's just like bubble wrap, where you gotta pop every single bubble. Well, every day I can kill every single salmonid is a good day to me. Oh no, we got another news broadcast. Oh wait, never mind, it's a Splatfest. Splatfests are another big part of this game. Basically, you pick between 2 different topics and the teams battle each other in turf war for 24 hours. We've had some good ones in the past, like Flight vs. Invisibility, which came first, the chicken or the egg, and Action vs. Comedy. Of course, we've had some really bad ones too, like Pulp and Orange Juice vs. No Pulp. You know, Europe once fought over toilet paper, so maybe I should be grateful. I wonder what the theme is this time though. Squids vs. octopuses? Oh my god. I guess I should mention this now, there's actually 2 playable races in Splatoon 2. We got squids, which come with the game by default, and octopuses, which you unlock by completing the Octo expansion, which I will get to in a bit. In Splatoon lore, squids and octos didn't really get along. In fact, they fought actual turf wars in the Squids 1. So I guess you could say the Splatfest will be your rematch. You know, I should mention this now, the localizers kept putting in jokes that the losing side would become legally inferior. So whoever loses this one will become second-class citizens. Oops! Well, it's time to make a decision. I guess I'm more attached to my squid since I've been playing him longer. And it's also Pearl's side. So I guess I'm gonna be on Team Squid. Oh yeah, I can't forget to draw some art to support my team. Well, this might scare some kids. I should probably just write out Squid instead. Splatfests are pretty hype because while it's happening, the whole hub area turns into a concert hosted by Off the Hook. And just look at all this art that's better than mine. Everyone's having a good time. They also have holographic concerts in real life, but they haven't happened in America yet, Reggie. If I don't see Pearl in real life, I'm gonna riot. Anyway, Splatfests are identical to Turf War, except there's an added stage to the rotation called Shifty Station. It changes design every Splatfest, so that's pretty neat. So let's fight for Oh great, connection problems. Yeah, this game has notoriously bad servers, which is a problem for an online multiplayer game. Look, one of my team members disconnected. Is a 3v4 really fair? Oh, well, I guess it was. You got a Splatfest rank 2, which starts at Fanboy or Girl, and goes all the way up to King or Queen. That's usually where I stop playing, because what's the point after? I just hang around at the concert until it ends. But then the hub just feels really lame afterwards. Bye bye hype. Let's see who won. Oh, I can't look. Oh yeah, squids baby! I knew it all along. 10 limbs are better than 8. This is Johnny. Every post he makes is about him smelling bad. What? Now that we finally got all that multiplayer junk out of the way, we can finally talk about the single player portions of the game. It's time for the spoiler zone. If you really don't want to know all the twists and turns in this game about talking squids, just turn this off right now. If not, well, here we go. This might be a little hard because I didn't record my first playthrough. You can replay all the levels, but you can't get the cutscenes unless you make a new profile. And that just seems like a waste to me, so I'll just try my best to explain. You play as Agent 4, and you're looking for a creature called the Great Zapfish that the Octos have stolen. It powers Inkopolis, so you can imagine it's pretty important. And this is your guide, Marie, who's looking for her missing cousin Callie. The two of them were the idols of the last game, forming the group the Squid Sisters. They hosted the news in Splatfest, much like Off the Hook does in this game. The levels of the single player are the definition of okay. You get to solve some environmental puzzles using ink, and find scrolls containing lore. This game's got some pretty crazy lore, by the way. Apparently, humanity wiped itself out in world wars, which allowed for the rise of sea creatures. You know, that's kinda dark for a game this seemingly happy. Whatever happened to I baked a cake for you and that's all the story you're gonna get? I guess this ain't Miyamoto's Nintendo anymore. I've seen a lot of people ask if Splatoon 2 is worth it just for this campaign. Well, not really. It's a cherry on the sundae, but I wouldn't call it a full course meal. And I heard this is just a rehash of Splatoon 1 single player. But that's fine because I never bought a Wii U, so I never played that. Actually, that's not fine. That's actually a pretty big problem. Because this whole single player means nothing to you if you didn't actually play the first game. You see, the last Splatfest of Splatoon 1 was Callie vs. Marie, and Callie lost. So that's why she went missing. Of course, if I was there, she would have won because she's clearly the best girl, besides Pearl, but that's not really the point. So that event directly influenced the story in this game, because Marie won and got to be your guide. But this is my biggest concern for this series. If you don't have this game right now, you are legitimately missing out. I know I felt like I was missing out on Splatoon 1 when I got this game. But how's I supposed to know? Do I need to show you that commercial again? Okay, now make it stop. Regardless, even if I dropped everything and bought a Wii U right now, that's still not good enough. Because the experience there is simply gone. There are no more Splatfests. There are no more Miiverse posts. It's simply a zombie game. And sure, Splatoon 2 is alive right now, but what's gonna happen when Splatoon 3 drops? The same thing. Splatoon 2 is going to die. That's why I say you have to buy the game right now if you're interested at all in this. Because you will literally never get the chance to fully experience it again. I guess that's why I put over 365 hours into the game. I need to make sure I got to play it all before it goes away for good. I mean, I guess I could always watch a playthrough of Splatoon 1, but come on, who wants to watch someone else play video games? Oh yeah, you might be wondering what happened to Callie. Well, it turns out the Octos brainwashed her. And once you fight the final boss, DJ Octavio, Callie and Marie are reunited in a heartwarming moment that means nothing to me because once again, I missed out. I gotta say though, considering I'm just listening to some Japanese pop idols sing gibberish through a filter, the Squid Sisters actually make some catchy music. I wish they had this on the radio instead of the trash they actually play. Also, the final phase is fighting Octavio with the Rainmaker. I like that they brought some multiplayer stuff into the single player. It makes the world feel more cohesive. And you get to unlock Callie when you win, which might be the greatest prize of all time. She tells you some stats about your gameplay. She even asks you to dinner. Okay, maybe that would be the greatest prize of all time. And that leads into the Octo expansion. Luckily I had the foresight to record my playthrough this time. It starts off with Off the Hook mentioning there's some weirdos invading Inkopolis, and then you're directed to the subway. Since I got this game, I wondered what the purpose of this part of the hub was, since it was completely useless. They must have been planning this for a while. Here you get to make your Octoling. I'm going with that Bob Ross look. Evidently he's lost his memory, so he teams up with Callie and Marie's grandfather, Captain Cuttlefish, so that they can go to the surface together. He dubs the Octo Agent 8, since he can't remember his name. Apparently their savior will be this telephone, who promises to take them to the promised land if they can locate the 4 Thangs. To find them, they have to navigate the subway and complete a bunch of stages. Your guides this time are Pearl and Marina, which is pretty cool. There's also the subway conductor, Sea Cucumber, whose main form of support is killing you if you fail a challenge. The stages here are way better than the base single players. They have a lot more variety, they're much tougher, and there's a lot more of them. It's not too often that you see an expansion being better than the base game, but here we are. The only stages I don't really like are the ones where you have to push a giant 8-ball around. It just reminds me of Sonic 06. More important though, this expansion's got a really nice 80s vaporwave aesthetic. I mean, that's the definition of aesthetic. And there's this one stage with Nintendo 64s floating in the sky, which feels like they were trying to appeal directly to me. And what's this? I can smell a Back to the Future reference a mile away. And here's one for the Terminator, which made me laugh for some reason. Actually, most of these levels are named after things from the 80s, no doubt to fit with the vaporwave aesthetic. Every time you beat a stage, you get a memory in the form of a pencil eraser. I did all the levels that give you the Salmonids first, because of course I did. On occasion, you get to read chat logs from Pearl, Marina, and Captain Cuttlefish. They go over how Pearl and Marina met, and how Off the Hook came to be. You also get to hear Pearl swear. Once you assemble the 4 Thangs, you find out it's a blender. You're almost blended until the player character from Splatoon 1, Agent 3, comes and saves you. I made her a girl just for a bit of variety. So, it turns out the phone was evil. I wonder if that's some sort of commentary on society. Anyway, you get to climb his lair for the second part of the expansion. Yeah, this thing is huge. When you reach the elevator to the surface, you gotta face off against Agent 3. I guess you could say I'm fighting the actual manifestation of Splatoon 1 itself. Well, it's gonna pay for making me miss out. Take that! Once you reach the surface itself, you meet Pearl and Marina, and you gotta face off against the real final boss. The aesthetics statue? You know, I was just making jokes about aesthetics before, but there he is! I guess you could say I'm fighting the actual manifestation of aesthetics itself. Well, it's gonna pay for making me, Okay, well, the telephone doesn't believe squids or octos are the proper successors to humanity. So it's gonna destroy the world with a giant laser beam powered by the sun. So the goal is to cover the entire thing in ink by playing Turf War. Once again, I like that they brought some multiplayer elements into the single player. And you get this kickin' song while you play. Come on, can I do it? Yeah, just barely. And Pearl delivers the final blow, once again proving Pearl is best girl. And so, that's how Octolings arrived in Inkopolis. Wow, that was a good game. I think it's hard to overstate just how great I thought the Octo expansion was. The levels were a challenge, it had great aesthetics, and you got to befriend off the hook. I wish this was the base single player. It's one of those games where you complete it and you're like, damn, that was a really great experience. Well, I'm done here, I guess. Hold on 1 second. Hello? What? Really? Looks like there's one more challenge. There's a rematch with Agent 3. Or rather, this is a memory of Agent 8's first fight against Agent 3 during the events of Splatoon 1, which makes the earlier fight the rematch. Well, whatever. And oh my god, I'm getting my ass kicked. I mean, Agent 3 is literally cheating. She's got way more health than normal, she has better range than me, and she can spam specials. No wonder Agent 8 lost his memory. I'd want to forget this too. How am I supposed to compete with this? Well, we can try. Come on. Come on. Booyah! For your efforts, you get a golden toothpick that you can wear in your hair. Frankly, I would have gone with the I beat Agent 3 and all I got was a stupid t-shirt shirt. Now I'm really done. So if you excuse me, I'm gonna go outside now. And I'm gonna take this with me. 'Cause you know, there's still a salmon run going.